Well, hello. Now you can see me. I was talking for 12 minutes. I was here. I was talking. Let me update the people on Instagram. Oh my God. I was talking for 12 minutes and people are writing and I'm like, they're probably trolling me and they're saying they can't see, they can't hear, they can't see, they can't hear. And I've been talking for 12 minutes. I analyzed Oracle and analyzed the market and I said we should condemn violence. So let's do everything from scratch. Oh my God. I cannot believe that I missed. So there's a new link for the video. I'm sorry. The old link didn't work. So I'm putting here the new link. So guys, I cannot believe that I just posted the wrong link. It's not the wrong link. It was the right link, but I talked for 12 minutes. So we have 3 minutes till market closed. So let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Micah Stocks, and on this channel, we talk about stocks. We do not recommend anything. Everything and anything that you see is not financial advice. It's just for educational purposes only. So hello, everyone. This is how the market is performing. 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, we're going to get CPI. Market was afraid, changed positioning, and now they're chasing as usual. S&P 500 is up 0.35 for the day. We haven't closed the day yet. We have 2 more minutes. NASDAQ is up 0.13. The Russell is up 0.2 and the Russell is down 0.2 and the Dow Jones is down 0.4. In other areas, we see the VIX, the volatility was up earlier in the day. High of the day was around 3 p.m., 1562. Now it's 1529. And Bitcoin, 113,500. Seems like it kind of broke out of the holding pattern. I talked for 10 minutes about Oracle. I cannot believe I talked about Oracle, the fact that they have this amazing remaining performance obligation. That's 4 times more than they had before. I talked about Oracle, that they signed with OpenAI a massive $300 billion cloud computing deal, which I have no idea if it's included in this or not. It might not be. But before everything, I don't know what is the result of the violence that happened an hour or 2 hours ago, but we condemn any sort of violence. Any sort of violence. No violence is, I would say, appreciated or anything. Do not do anything. Yes, I'm talking about the shooting around Charlie. I have no idea what the result is. Let's dive in and hear the market close, and then we're going to summarize everything that happened during the day. And it's crazy because I've been talking for 12 minutes. I do not believe this. I have nothing to say anymore because I said it already. Here it is. Sarah will close the market with us today. Sarah Eisen and Mike Santoli from CNBC.
We do get a soft number tomorrow.
Klarna, of course, IPO today. We're going to talk about Klarna. Going to talk about everything. Guys, please, if on the comments and the chats, try to keep it in English so we'll be able to read it. Otherwise, we do not understand the letters that you're using here. So Exos and 9/11 tomorrow is the Memorial Day for 9/11. The horrible terrorist attack that happened a few years ago. Okay. Market close. Let's dive in and let's summarize the day. And this is how the day ended. Of course, this is the Oracle day. Everyone will remember this day being the Oracle day, September 10th. But this is how the market ended. The S&P 500 ends on the green, up 0.3%. NASDAQ, 0.03. That's still green. Dow's red for the day, 0.46. And the Russell down 0.17. You can see the Bitcoin at 113.6. I think it's starting something. Ethereum, very interesting chart on the Ethereum. So we have 3 consecutive doji days, 3 consecutive days which the Ethereum did nothing. In the regular world, Ethereum is not, let's call it a commodity or whatever, that doesn't move. It doesn't work. The last 3 days, apparently, as you can see, it didn't move at all. A stock that did move a lot is Oracle. 36% for the day. Was this close to being a $1 trillion company? It didn't end today as a $1 trillion company, but as a $923 billion company, making Larry Ellison one of the richest, maybe even the richest person in the world, Larry Ellison, at the age of 81. Some say surpassing Elon Musk being the richest person in the world. At 81, he's more lucid, not the car. He's more lucid, and he's so excited about AI that I wish that 20-year-olds would be as excited as he is with AI. And you know why he's excited? Because he's refreshing his Salesforce screen and he's seeing these orders piling up and piling up and piling up and piling up. And he says, I've never been through that. And they IPO'd in the 80s. He's been through everything. And he's so excited about it. Add to that OpenAI, which signs a massive $300 billion cloud computing deal with Oracle. I have no idea if it's included in this. I assume some of it is, but I'm not sure. If the $300 billion is in addition to $455 billion, that means that Oracle has an RPO, which is the remaining performance obligation, of almost $1 billion. That is crazy. But Oracle is not the only one that moved the way it did. Let's first of all look at the analysis that Perplexity wrote on Oracle today. So Oracle visibility into the future growth has never been stronger, they say, with 77% cloud infrastructure expansion forecast for the year and multi-billion-dollar contracts already in place. $455 billion contracted backlog. Contracted backlog. It's mean that people signed it. It was approved in their systems. It's crazy. And high-profile partners such as OpenAI, etc., etc. I think the biggest bearish view right now, or the biggest fear should be, and there should be, is this going to happen again? Or it's a one-off, and then it's going to drop all the way to 100, and then you know what's going to happen. Other stocks that moved in tandem to Oracle. One of them is CoreWeave, CRWV. Why? Because Oracle cannot do it alone. So CoreWeave, up today, still hasn't broken out of its lower highs. As you can see, these are the highs going lower. So these are lower highs. But a very strong day, 16.9% on the day. That is, these moves, if you're new to the market, I got to tell you, these are crazy moves. Moving a $600-700 billion company, 36%. These are moves that I think the last time it happened was almost 2 years ago when NVIDIA did the same kind of reaction. But these are crazy moves. And the reasons why they happen is not because us, the retail investors, we cannot move a stock so much. It's because of two sides. One is the buyers. That's easy to understand, right? People are chasing. They said to themselves, oh my God, I missed Oracle. I got to buy Oracle. That's one side. That's the easy one to understand. The other one is the fear mongers. Fear mongers are the ones that keep saying we're in a bubble, everything's inflated, let's short everything. Oracle could not move 36% if they didn't have some kind of huge short against them. Why am I saying that? Because when we look at the other semiconductors, which need to also kind of help them and move in tandem, the only one that we really saw was Broadcom. Makes sense. Another 9.8%, making it, I think, the fourth or the fifth biggest company in the world. Then ARM. All the rest, yeah, 1 to 3%. That's something usual. That's not something special. But you know, so that's that. I don't know if he's dead yet. Sorry. What happened to Meta today? Let's check it out, Aaron. Meta. Good thing I can read your Hebrew name, Aaron. Otherwise, I would have just read. It would be the lowest moment in MSL. Oh, really? What happened to Meta today? It's down 1.8%. That's all. Come on. It's not even a correction. It's a blip in the radar. It's nothing. It's going back to its support line, which lies between 740 and 747, just like the planes. I wouldn't even, if you wouldn't mention and write it the way you did, I wouldn't even say that something happened. It's a day. Meta went down 1.8%. It's nothing. Bitcoin. Reverse head and shoulders, Yari says. Yari, it's not even needed to go that granular to the 65-minute. Look at the Bitcoin. It's bouncing on a support line. It just cleared this resistance of 111,965. It's going up. It cleared this as well. If it closes above 111, we're good to go. I think that the miners told us yesterday that we're good to go. At least that was my perspective going into today. Something, because yesterday, so I'll share with people that are not on our community and not on our Discord channel. Yesterday, I posted kind of a screenshot. Let me find it here of all the miners. That was yesterday. Okay, not today. And you can see all the miners are kind of have had a very, very strong day. And I'm like, something here is off. Or the miners are seeing something that we're not seeing, or the miners are ahead of themselves and they're going to get hammered today. So when you see these large moves on the miners, you should be ready for an upside move in the commodity itself. And we saw that. So let's also look at the alts, because now there's this notion that maybe now it's the alt season. Alt season are all the different coins, which are not just Bitcoin. I'm not sure we're there yet. I think Bitcoin still has another leg up, but we will see. So Solana, for example, Sol USD, as you can see, broke out of this resistance around 206, and it's going up. Ethereum isn't, as I showed you before. There's a lot of, I want to say, wrong, I'll call it wrong discussions around XRP. I don't know, there's someone that's spreading that this is going to be the next monetary system. No. I don't see any company saying, let's invest in Solana, Ethereum, or XRP because a YouTuber told us to. I don't see that happening. And you can see that hasn't broken out yet. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to provide you gains and things like that. Just saying that, it needs to go up $3 to actually, let's call it, breakout. How should I manage my Riot position? How should you manage your Riot position? First of all, thank you very much. Riot today broke out. It broke out of it, and it just started. Now you're asking how to manage it. So let's start by identifying the patterns that we see here. So Riot there are several ways to analyze Riot. One of them is to look at these highs that are going lower. As you can see, this is one way of looking at it, and you can see that we just broke out. That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is kind of looking at this resistance line, the 1587. Let me delete this. 1587, and see the breakout. Now, the breakout came with high volume, not higher than the day before, but still high volume. And now what you're identifying here is a pattern, which is also known as cup and handle, or in this case, you might even say that it's an inverse head and shoulders. So this is the shoulder, this is the head, and this is the shoulder. So two patterns here, they say the same thing. What they do mean is that the potential of this pattern is that Riot, assuming that it keeps going up, and we'll talk about the areas where you need to worry, we'll take the depth of the cup, we'll add it here to the breakout point, and that brings us sort of to around 25.5, which is 60% from the breakout, a bit more from where it is right now. So that's where Riot is right now. What are the areas that you should worry? First of all, if this was the breakout at 1586, then your stop loss, assuming you bought the breakout, at least the way I analyze it, and this is not financial advice to buy or not to buy, is 1534. Why? Let's say it didn't work. The breakout was a mistake. Buyers are running away. Sellers are taking control. Then you don't want to be here anymore. So 1534 is your stop. If it keeps going up, I would take the average true range, which is around 5.89. And you can see that today it went up 7.82, which means that today it went up more than its average in the last 14 days, which makes sense because it broke out. Okay? Day before, it went up 13%, which again is more than twice as much as it usually moves. Both of these combined means that there's something happening. Where would I exit? 1534. If it keeps going up, I would keep around 2 days of ATR. That's around 11% stop loss underneath. That's where I would kind of place my stops. But that's me. You might be more scary of the situation and might do other things. So that's Riot for you. A long explanation for a short question. Did Palantir break already? PLTR, let's check it out. Yes and no. I would love to see the same candle that we saw in Riot on Palantir. This is actually more of a reversal candle, and it might not be as good as expected, especially when it stopped. Look where it stopped, Ori. Stopped exactly at the entrance or the end of the gap. This is the gap that they had, the upside gap after the earnings. And it stopped there. I wish it was above that. But I don't know. Let's wait till tomorrow. I'm not sure that this is not... it's shaky. What do you say about KRE? I think with the rate going down, KRE is going to be a very, very interesting investment to make. And why? Because the regional banks now will have a lot more oxygen to breathe. They will be easier. There's going to be less regulation due to Trump administration. And of course, we have a cup and handle here that's still in progress. The upside target is around 72.6. I don't see any problem. We have higher lows. We kind of have... it's a good setup. I don't think there's a problem with carry, at least from my perspective. BBAI. BBAI today closed underneath the low, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know where it closed, but it's hovering over its low, which is it's a weak position. It's a weak point. I would be very, very careful, and if you don't want to stop here, stop it here around 4.6. I wouldn't stay if it keeps going down, at least from my perspective, but. That's how I would look at it. Adam, thank you very much. What's your opinion on Amazon and Apple for long trade stop loss? So I only do one. Let me talk about Apple. So Apple right now is underneath its breakout price. So its breakout price is 237. It's underneath that, which means that there's nothing currently interesting in Apple until it stabilizes and buyers go in. Because it was a short answer, let me answer you on Amazon as well. Amazon didn't survive the breakout, just like I mentioned earlier on Riot. And it's going down now. It has higher lows here, so there might be support around 227, but we need to see. I wouldn't enter a position on each of them until we see strength and until we see a breakout. If we don't see that and we don't see that, then you should wait. Why should you wait? Not because these are not good companies. These are amazing companies. You should wait because you might get a better price. Look, if they break down, let's take Amazon. And I like Amazon. Don't get me wrong. I'm invested in Amazon. I like Amazon. What I'm saying right now doesn't have an angle against it. But let's say Amazon has a rough patch now. It then goes down, 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 and it stops at 210 on the 150-day moving average. And it turns around. That might be a better entry point than 236 or 230. You just gained another $20 on each position. That's almost 10%. So if you buy it here and it goes back only back to this place, you're up almost 10% just for this. Not saying it's going to go there, just saying that you need to be aware. Okay, can you leave the house to get me at 5:15? Yes. Let me just answer my daughter. Yep. Okay. So that was that. Amir wants ONDS. Let's talk about Ondas Holdings. Ondas Holdings diluted by $200 million, if I'm not mistaken on the number, yesterday or 2 days ago. And we're waiting to see if that offering, I think that offering closed. And now we need to see the buyers stepping in. Currently, they haven't stepped in strong enough, which means that there's still a downside target that it might reach around the 487 to get to this support. We'll wait and see. We just need to wait and see. Right now, the stock had an amazing run. The offering went well, which is good. Let's see. There's a lot of momentum, a lot of talk on Twitter around this stock, but buyers are not stepping in yet. So we need to see where they are after the raise they did. It was a very strong raise. So, Amir, just wait a bit. Let's hope it doesn't come down all the way to 5 or even lower to 490. Actually, let's not hope. If it goes down to 490, it would be an amazing entry point. I don't know what's your cost average, but it would be an entry point. AMD made a move to AR, made a move today. That's true. We saw that. It made a huge move today directly into its gap. The top area of the gap is 161.3. Very interesting to see this and to see it reaching 161, but it's still underneath. When we see this upside move, we need to remember that it still has lower highs. As you can see, it's going down. So it's a good move. It's a good daily move if you took it, but otherwise still not strong as it should. Yo, Mika, what are your thoughts on Palantir long term? I think Palantir, if it keeps executing on their plan, they might reach around the $600-700 billion valuation. Right now, it's a very expensive stock with a lot of good news baked in. If they have even a small hiccup, you might see a 20% drop in Palantir easy. Right now, they're not taking up. They're doing everything they need. Alex Karp and the team are doing an amazing job. But, some kind of turmoil, something, but still, I like the stock. I like the company. I like the stock is a huge run-up. UPST, what's the question around UPST? UPST broke its upper trend line. And now we need to wait. We need buyers to step in. Nothing to do more than that. Nothing to do more than that. We need them to step in. Everyone is hoarding Ethereum and yet it's stagnant. How? First of all, Mr. Roth, an amazing question. Actually, everyone is hoarding Bitcoin, not only Ethereum. Both of them are kind of in place. What I want to show you is what happens when someone releases the helium balloon. So what happens is they're being held back, and once they're released in about 5 days, they do a 20-30% move. It happened in Ethereum, it happened in Bitcoin. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. 3 days. Actually, let's take it 5 days, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days, 10% move, even more a bit to this high. 10% move in 5 days. So they know how to run very, very fast. I think they're planning a leg. I think they're planning a leg up. We'll see. Everyone's waiting for the CPI tomorrow. By the way, JP Morgan created their valuation for the CPI tomorrow. Let me share with you. So what they're seeing, at least JP Morgan, every month they're planning ahead on what's going to happen on CPI day. Tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern, CPI day. They're going to say the following. So if CPI comes below 0.25, there's a 5% probability, at least according to JP Morgan, market's going to rip 1.25 to 1.75. If it's going to be between 0.25 to 0.3, there's a 30% likelihood the market is still going to gain. 0.3 to 0.35, 35%. The market's going to be between down and up, meaning it's going to be iffy. Higher inflation, markets going down. Very high inflation, markets going down very strong. We'll see. Is it too late for NBIS? Nebius went up 50% yesterday. I would wait. I don't think this is such an attractive setup that I would tell you chase it. I don't think it's such an attractive setup. What I do know, if it's going to base itself around the 87 and turn around, then we have a huge cup that can provide around 80% on the stock. But I don't know where buyers are going to step in here. I'm not sure it's not gonna close. It's not gonna do a gap and fill. Morita, I went through the DPST and noticed that it behaves different than leverage on the KRE. Do you also see this? Of course it behaves different, DPST. DPST should be 3 times than the KRE. The reason why it behaves different is because when stocks go down, the multiplier, it's the same multiplier, but the effect is stronger. And because the effect is stronger, that's why you see it differently. I would not go into leveraged ETFs unless we get an all clear sign and KRE starts going day after day up. When it's bouncy, and look at the KRE, when it's bouncy, you lose a lot. You lose on the KRE, you lose because every night it resets itself. You lose on the fact that it multiplies by 3, and of course there's the cost of it. Wait for a consistent break and don't stay in these leveraged stocks too long. UPST, we talked about it. It needs to decide what it wants to do. And BMNR, that would be the last one for us today. BMNR, it broke out of its support. Its support was around 39.50. And these are not buying candles. These are candles with someone selling their stock here all day long. As you can see, my candles are red because it means that from the opening, the stock went down. From the opening, the stock went down. So basically, the sellers were in control, yet it still grinded up due to the gap ups in the morning. Hi, Mike. I wonder, do you use a buy stop limit order to purchase breakout? How do you manage? No, I do not. I do not work with the stop limits. When I buy limit. But I do not keep my I don't program the computer in advance or the platform in advance. The reason for that I don't plan it, one is because I don't want to keep my money held, because once I put that, they hold the money, they hold the position as if I'm in the position, which I'm not, or I need to use leverage, which I don't want to use. That's one. Second reason for that is I'll put an alert. I have a phone. Once the alert comes in, I see it as a notification. I can go in, click buy, and that's it. I don't see any advantage of doing that. Now, when I buy, I do buy at limit because I buy with a large amount and I don't want to get screwed on my positions, on my cost average. That's all. Roy, I saw that you have on your toolbar anchored volume profile too. Would you be willing to explain how to use it? You're more than welcome to join our course. We just had on Saturday a session on that. I sometimes use it, sometimes I don't use it. You're more than welcome to come to our course. It's in Hebrew, so you'll need to learn Hebrew. It's called Simply Reading Charts, if I kind of translate it. And there's a whole session, almost an hour, where we went through examples, how to use it, etc. Guys, thank you very much. It was a great evening with you. Actually, 12 minutes more. I gave 12 minutes more because I was recording myself, or basically I talked to myself because the camera worked, but it didn't broadcast anything. I hope you enjoyed this English live. We're going to do it every week. If you had trouble understanding, it's understandable. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it so everyone will get used to hearing English. At the end of the day, there are hundreds of millions of people talking English. Only several millions of them talk Hebrew. This channel will help you not only understand English better, understand the terms better, understand the stock market better. And of course, it might even grow our community to be a bigger community. So thank you everyone for being here. My name is Micah Stocks, and you don't know, but the live stream actually started this way. So have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow on the Hebrew channel, Micah.stocks. Till next time, guys, have a good night. Bye-bye. By the way, this track is on the channel, Stock Talk with Micah Stocks. It's called Melodic House Set 3, Stock Market Music. Put it in your ears when you're analyzing stocks. Believe me, you'll start seeing things in a different way. Good night.